So when it comes to you offering your services, you have to offer your service to a specific type of person that A, you want to work with, and B, is going to be able to afford your number. Your clients will let you know if you undercharge or you overcharge.
Two questions. The first question I kind of spit off now.
Yeah.
I can write down the second one. So we on Threads, right? And
Yeah.
I'm fired up because I spent countless nights trying to find that perfect number to pitch my offer.
Yeah.
And based on what you're saying, I got threads that say I'm only taking 20 clients who want to sign up, but it's treating them like a number.
Right, exactly.
So for someone that has this inclination to approach it differently, how could I approach that differently?
Yeah. So the main thing when it comes to marketing, as I tell all coaches, is you got to be very specific of who you want to work with, right? Like that's number one. You got to get out of the business of wanting to serve everybody. You know what I mean? You say you got, okay, say for instance, easy example, Lamborghini. Lamborghini ain't marketing to Honda drivers. Lamborghini is only marketing themselves to Lamborghini drivers, to people who got the money to buy a Lambo. So they're not running advertisements to people who know they can't afford their car. You see what I mean? So when it comes to you offering your services, you have to offer your service to a specific type of person that A, you want to work with, and B, is going to be able to afford your number. You see what I mean? And that's the part where a lot of coaches or business people will go wrong when they first get in this field. They want to help everybody, right? It's like, okay, so are you a specialist or are you a generalist, right? Think of it like a doctor. If I got a brain surgeon and I got to go get brain surgery, am I going to go to the regular ER doctor? Nope. I got to go see the brain surgeon.
Right.
So if you see what I mean? So if you somebody that works with somebody on boosting their confidence, say I want to work with corporate women over the age of 40 who want to help their confidence. Now that's a very select group of women that I'm working with, right? So now it's going to naturally weed itself out of who I can work with. I ain't got to worry about the numbers because by me narrowing my base and saying I'm only working with corporate women over 40, okay, anybody that's not in that range knows you can't reach me for my services. So now when a person comes to you, you can price it what you want because you're the specialist in that field. You see what I mean? Now you're the specialist. So it's like, okay, I'm pretty sure you've done your market research. And like, okay, what is kind of the number that people are charging for my services? All right, so I don't want to be too high, but then I don't want to be too low. I kind of want to be somewhere in that sweet spot of I'm a little more expensive than the cheapest person, but I'm not as expensive as a person that I know I'm really not as good as they are. You see what I mean? And that's where you want to find your sweet spot when it comes to like setting your number on how much you want to charge for your services.
Man, I'm happy you brought that up. First off, I'm happy that you're answering the questions for me, but in a general sense, so it speaks to my audience because I am dialed in. When I first started this confidence coach journey, it was a come on, come one, come all.
Right.
But now I've dialed in. The only thing that I didn't consider was demographic, and for me, I'm focusing more on women than men. Women. Right. I try not to say female business owners, but it sounds kind of weird saying women that own businesses. But with that being said, specifically in the ages of I guess 35 to 55.
Right.
And let's see, that's kind of dialing in. So if I'm saying, okay, I want to open up my coaching to other people, or I charge $5K for 6 months and it's not too low. It's actually a steal based on what I'm doing because converse with mentors and they say, hey, one-on-one is a good place to start, but it shouldn't be where you end up.
Exactly.
Based upon my coaching style, I can guarantee results better with one-on-one, which is why I have a cap on who I coach. And having listened to what you've said, I can now re-engineer that and say, okay, I would like to join you on your confidence journey. And we start at 6 months, right?
Exactly. But now, like you said, too, is it might be a steal for you in terms of pricing, right? Like you might say it might be a steal. Your clients will let you know if you undercharge or you overcharge, right? It's like, for instance, your clients will tell you, okay, if they come to you, I always tell people, you should have, when people reach out to you, you should have a good number of people who tell you that you're too expensive. You should, right? If a lot of people get upset or like they get down when a client says, oh, you're too expensive. Even inside the niche, you should have people telling you you're too expensive. If every single person tells you yes, 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 that probably means you're too cheap, right? The numbers should scare people to a certain extent. It should scare people, right? Because now you're creating in their head, like, is it something that you really want to do? But if the number is not high enough, they're gonna feel like, oh, well, what's the investment worth then? Right? So if, like you said, if you just like I had a client of mine, she's a CEO, runs a whole bunch of companies. She was like, if somebody came to me and they told me, okay, here's my price, and it was super cheap, but you're telling me you're the best, why your price is so low? She's like, I don't, you telling me you're the best, but yet your prices is real low. So something not adding up. You telling me that you're really good, but yet you're really cheap. Right. So it should be, again, like you said, you don't want to have it outrageous where I'm looking at you like you crazy. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Where it shouldn't be something like that. But it should be like, okay, yeah, that sounds about right. The clients look at you like, yeah, that's a good number. Or you're gonna have people be like, I don't know if I can afford that. Now it's on you to now let them know what the value of your services is, right? But it should be that way where every so often you get people who have to think twice about working with you because they don't know the value of your service. So you're like, hey, here's what I'm worth. Now they're like, okay, so now when they get done going through your program, they're like, yo, you should have charged me way more. Like your program was way worth it. So then when they give you that feedback, you're like, oh, well, I can definitely raise my prices then.
Man, it's so powerful that you said that because I did Invest Fest. It's October now, in August, and a good friend of mine, I was telling her, like, hey, I'm super excited because I've now itemized a good price point. Because before, when I started my coaching thing, bro, I started with ebooks and going live, and then I progressed to a group coaching style, $200 a month. But I had people signing up that weren't really taking it serious, which
The
comes
money.
to take my price serious myself.
Yep.
I just in August, bro, I was telling her I was gonna do 5K for the year, and she was like, "Do 5K for 6 months, 10K for 12 months, and that'd be a good starting point for you." Do you have a continuity offer in your program, bro? What kind of packages do you offer, and how do you communicate your services to your client?
So the way I do everything initially, I tell everybody it's an initial 3-month commitment, hands down. Right. Number one, it's always a 3-month commitment. That's the bare minimum. Is I require a 3-month commitment. So the way I do it is I do the 3-month is kind of the lowest price, right? The 6-month is the in between, and then the 4 year is the most expensive. And they call it price anchoring, right? Is I kind of got that middle, that lower price. Like, okay, I'm gonna make enough money. Where it's like I'm still gonna make money and make the clearance, but I really want you to get that 6-month package. That 6-month one is really what I want you to get. And then if you get a 4 year, cool, right? So let's say, for instance, I used to run it at 3 months for 1,500. Okay, we're gonna do 3 months for 1,500. We're gonna do 6 months for 2,700, and then we're gonna do that 4 year for 3,900. Right? So now you look in the middle. You're like, okay, it's 1,500, it's 27, and then it's 39. I can do 6 months where it's not double the price, so I'm getting a little bit of a discount by doing 6 months. Because if I go a 4 year, that's $4,000 for a 4 year. You see what I mean? So now they're looking at it like, yeah, I'm gonna go with the middle one. I'm gonna go with the 6 months. Because what they don't realize is if you end up buying a 3-month package and then buy another 3 months, you really just went $300 over than what I was giving. So you could have saved a $300 discount had you already signed up for the six month in advance. You see what I mean? So that's why I say you got to look at it like you give a person numbers to compare and contrast. And that's why I say always give 3 numbers. You don't want to give 2 because then it's either high or low. I'm going to give you 3 numbers, right? If you think of it when you go to a fast food restaurant, it's small, medium, large. What do most people usually get? You usually get the large, right? Because you look at the price of the medium, you like the medium is close to the large, but it's a little further away than the small. So I'm gonna just spend an extra $2 or $3 or $1.50 and get the large because I'm gonna get way more for a large versus me getting the medium, right? But if I only had small and medium on the list, they're like, well, I don't know. I can take the small one or I'll take the big one.
Man, that's definitely a gem, especially because I worked at McDonald's. That's like my first job, but the way they have it now, the small and the medium is different size cups, but it's the same kind of liquid.
Exactly. You see what I mean? Right. So they scam you in a way, right? You paying more, but you're really getting the same.
So I love that, bro, because what that says to me. So I have my 6 months. You can pay upfront for 4,900. You could do by the month for 900, and then you can do a full year for 10,000. So at the full year, you save $2,000.
Right.
you do by the month, it's $5,400 for 6 months.
Right.
If you do the $4,900 for 6 months, you save the most money, honestly.
Yeah, see? Like I said, so you got to position in a way where in their head, they jump at the one that's in between, right? And then, like I said, it's like the cheap offer, cool. You're going to get people that want to initially, because they don't want to make the big investment. So they might go with like the 6 month. All right, cool, we're going to go with the initial 6 month because you don't want to do the full year. I understand that. So you're still clearing it either way, right? The last thing, like I said, you want to offer is like month to month. There's always tell any coach is that's when you really having a hard time signing the client up. Majority of the time, you're trying to get paid in full. You always try to go for paid in full as soon as you can to get that money in your pocket. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, I got that down payment up front. Month to month is cool if you really, really need it. But if not, always try to get that upfront money as much as you can.
So I should actually, to your point, because I mean, it's already out there. The sweet spot is 6 months, but I need that 3 in that full year.
Right.
Price anchor. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. The price anchor, right? Even if you did stick with 6 months, say, you know what? Here's the price of the 6 month. But if you signed up today, here's like a 30% discount or whatever it is, right? So now they looking like, oh, okay, do I do the 6 month that I can get a 30% discount? Or do I do the full year? And right, it's like you look at the numbers and they're like, well, at 30%, I'm only saving so much. Oh, let's just go with the full year then, right? And so, like I said, now you're giving them little different options. Like I said, but if it's just high, low, they're like, damn, man, that's kind of high. We ain't got nothing in the middle, right? And now for you, your middle price is basically month to month. You don't want that to be your middle. The middle should be month to month. The middle should be the last thing that's on their mind. It's like, okay, well, if you're really hesitant, I got month to month. But on the call, you should never mention month to month payments.
So it should be the 6 month sign up now at 30%.
Yep.
6 months flat out.
Yep.
12 months.
Exactly. Right. And like I said, don't do month to month. And if you do month to month, do an upcharge. Right. So like I said, so instead of saying, okay, I got 6 months, I'm gonna just calculate and break it down what it would be for 6 months. You go now say, no, 6 months is going to be an upcharge because you pay me month to month. It's a little bit of an upcharge.
Cool.